I am introducing the story. The tale of the bite of 87. Roll the tape.
Sunday, December 4th, 1987. The day that no one will ever forget. So it all started when my little cousin Aaron was having a birthday party at the Freddy Fazbear's pizza place. I was informed that I was invited because this restaurant was very important to him and the fact it was going to shut down. Aaron's mom, my aunt, decided to invite everyone she possibly could since it was going to be only us. Friends, family, anyone close. I never really liked that place, even with its original run. Several incidents of children disappearing and turning up dead, with their bodies being found in the already unsettling animatronics, with parents and customers alleging that they saw blood leaking out of them. I was honestly surprised when I found out they made a comeback with a new set of animatronic characters. Their whole new strategy was security to make sure that no children would be abducted again. But recently, about a week ago, I heard that their systems were tampered with and 2 new kids had gone missing. But I couldn't just say no to my cousin, even if the place was a hotbed of murders. He wouldn't even understand. And his mom had already spent a lot of money to schedule this party right before the pizzeria's closure. And they would have security guards on standby to make sure the whole party went smoothly because the facial recognition system in the animatronics wasn't working. The party was at 7:30 p.m. and would close at 10 p.m. I got there about 7:45. The parking lot was already packed. Guess they went crazy with the invitations. I got in, but I was questioned as soon as I got in. They asked questions like if I was with the party, who I was, who I was with, my age, basic stuff. Guess they were really hard-headed about security and safety. Don't really blame them with the murders spontaneously happening. The party just started, and many kids were already running around, playing, and generally having fun. I went over to Aaron's mom to let her know I was there. It was about 8:20 p.m. when the food for the party was delivered. There were several different pizzas served, pasta, breadsticks, a giant cookie in the shape of Freddy Fazbear's face. It smelt of grease and fast food. The pizza was rather mediocre, and all the soda was these original brand names, Fizzy Paz, and what most of them were called. The one I had was a Foxy Cove cooler. Basically just a wine cooler. It wasn't very good. I wandered off to see what kind of arcade games they had. While looking around, I noticed an area titled Kids Cove that was off limits and being monitored by a guard. I went up to the guard and asked why this area was off limits. He stated that the animatronic in there was fairly dangerous and hostile. I asked him why it was that way with a shred of concern. He then went on about how the animatronic in there named Funtime Foxy was often dismantled by kids, put back together by the employees every day. That since their head engineer was already occupied with the other animatronics. Now the character in there was just left as a scattered mess of parts, nicknamed the Mangle. With the other animatronics, they suspected that a guy would continuously come in late at night and screw with their systems. Now that they act hostile towards adults, he was the night shift guard, but he was instructed to stay close to the animatronics to make sure they don't hurt anyone, and to let him know if I saw anything funny. The other ones were just on the stage, singing, all normal. I heard a while ago that they were advanced enough that they could walk off the stage. Apparently it's cheaper than having humans in costumes walking around the place after the curtains closed. It was about 8:30 when things started to go wrong. The animatronics had stopped singing and entertaining children. They were all off the stage. But something was wrong. They had no visible eyes. Just black voids, and their heads would just twitch whenever an adult would walk by. Anytime they walked by the guard, they would repeatedly whisper. The guard was understandably looking very, very nervous. I was just getting a refill on my soda when I noticed the tiles in the ceiling were rattling. One tile would fall on the floor and shatter. An animatronic would poke its head out the hole. It was a pink white fox body on a metal pieces. I then remembered how the guard explained to me about the animatronic being nicknamed Mangle, and that must have been it. I ran across the pizzeria to warn the guard about the animatronic crawling around in the ceiling. The man was beginning to doze off because it was so late at night, but shot up in shock when I tapped his shoulder. I told him how the mangle was in the ceiling and it broke a tile. He pulled out his taser and ran to the area I said it was in. This is when it happened. The guard was looking up everywhere to see the animatronic, but it was nowhere. But when he had his guard down, the mangle swooped down from the ceiling and took a giant bite out of the man's forehead. The mother, seeing this, screamed in shock. There was blood everywhere, and the animatronic went back up into the ceiling. The police and paramedics were called to the scene, and the guard was rushed to the hospital. The party was over. Animatronics were all shut down. The mangle was found in the kids' cove, making a harsh, garbled radio sound, and was taken apart for the last time. The guard survived the incident, surprisingly, but with traumatic brain trauma. He had lost his frontal lobe. Might as well have been dead. The next day, the whole party made the news. Papers, everything. Fazbear Entertainment stated that they would be scrapping the expensive toy animatronics and keep the 4 old ones from the original run of Freddy's that were in the back of the pizzeria if they were ever to stage a comeback. I do not understand how, with an incident like this, they can legally pull this off. But they did. Now they are reopening in a smaller building, and it's seeming to be a success. But nothing will change what happened in '87.
I hope you enjoyed tonight's story. And remember, I own